a dangerous peace. Eddie Brock and Venom are hiding in the remote jungles of South America. They've fled the chaos following the multiversal incident involving Spider-Man, and Eddie is trying to live a peaceful life as an anonymous journalist. But Venom is restless. He wants action, justice, and brains. Their dynamic is strained, and Venom keeps hinting that something dark is coming. He can feel it in the Clintar hive mind. Symbiote Storm. In New York, an elite biotech group known as the Geneva Syndicate infiltrates the remnants of the Life Foundation. They retrieve samples of Riot and Carnage and begin experimenting with cloning synthetic symbiotes. The experiments are partially successful, creating creatures that are powerful but unstable. The project's crown jewel is Void, a black hole-like symbiote meant to absorb and control all others. Call of the Hive. Eddie begins suffering from disturbing visions in his sleep. Alien landscapes, a massive throne made of symbiote flesh, and whispers in a forgotten language. Venom reveals these are hive mind transmissions. A signal is being sent across the cosmos. Something ancient is stirring. It's not just psychic noise, it's a summons. A new threat emerges. Void breaks free during a test, killing its handlers and absorbing 2 failed symbiote clones to increase its mass. It escapes the facility, taking the form of a writhing, gravity-distorting monster. The Geneva Syndicate goes underground, but their data leaks, catching the attention of global defense networks. Global symbiote alert. Governments across the world go on high alert as energy anomalies spike. A US intelligence Black Ops unit, Code Black, is tasked with identifying and neutralizing the alien threat. They trace the origin back to Eddie Brock, whom they now consider a high-risk bioweapon host, back to the US. Eddie receives word that Anne Wying has been kidnapped and brought to a Code Black containment site. He returns to the US with Venom, landing in secret. His presence immediately triggers an alert, and he narrowly escapes capture, helped by a reluctant contact from his journalism past. Reunion and betrayal. Eddie breaks into the Code Black facility and rescues Anne. During their escape, he's shocked to learn that Dan Lewis, Anne's fiancé, is a senior advisor for Code Black. Dan believes the symbiotes are an existential threat and has developed a portable sonic emitter designed to kill them. Anne is torn between Eddie and Dan, but she clearly still has feelings for Eddie. Anti-Venom rises. Dan's experiments, in conjunction with Anne's prior bonding with Venom, trigger the birth of a new symbiote, Anti-Venom. It is white, radiant, and immune to Clintar corruption. It bonds with Anne, giving her temporary enhanced strength, healing, and resistance to Void's powers, but the symbiote is unstable, and being its host is painful. The Void expands. Void rampages across a city in Arizona, absorbing 2 more symbiotes from underground labs. It takes on a towering, nightmarish form, warping space around it and pulling matter into itself. Code Black's forces are annihilated trying to stop it. The government declares a secret national emergency. Enemy of my enemy, Venom, Anti-Venom, and Code Black agree to a fragile alliance. Eddie and Anne begin strategizing with Colonel Morgan Talon, the ruthless head of Code Black. They plan to use Anne's anti-venom powers to draw Void out and weaken it with a supersonic amplifier array in an abandoned satellite facility. Symbiote lore unlocked. Venom reveals the origin of the Clintar, created by Knull, the dark god of symbiotes. Knull forged them as weapons of darkness and entropy. If Void continues absorbing symbiotes, it could become a conduit for Knull's resurrection. The Throne of Darkness, seen in Eddie's visions, is real and is calling out to Void. Desperate measures. The plan is set. Anne will lure Void to the observatory. Venom and Eddie will engage it directly. Code Black will trigger a gravitational collapse using the satellite's power core to trap Void long enough to inject it with a symbiote-suppressing serum. But no one is confident the plan will succeed. Ambush in the dark. The operation begins under cover of night. At first, Void takes the bait, but it senses the trap and launches a surprise assault. Code Black operatives are slaughtered. Venom is nearly consumed by Void. Anne intervenes with a burst of anti-venom energy, saving Eddie, but she is gravely injured. The Hive wakes. Void's power reaches a critical level. Its signal awakens symbiotes hidden across the Earth, remnants from Knull's long-ago invasion. Some bond with unstable humans, becoming grotesque monsters called broodlings. The chaos spreads as cities are plunged into panic, into the mindscape. Eddie and Venom retreat and conduct a dangerous mental dive into the Clintar hive mind. There they meet an ancient psychic manifestation of Knull, chained in cosmic void. Knull mocks Eddie, revealing that Eddie was always meant to be his Dark Herald, the one to bring about the age of symbiote dominion, the fall of Void. Anne, wielding the last of Anti-Venom's power, creates an opening. Venom, barely holding together, fuses with Anti-Venom temporarily, creating a glowing, radiant form. Hybrid Venom. In an epic aerial and psychic battle, Hybrid Venom tears Void apart and burns its core from the inside. Shattered bonds. The fusion destabilizes both symbiotes. Anti-Venom burns out, leaving Anne in a coma. Venom begins disintegrating. Eddie cradles his friend, unsure if Venom will survive. Code Black attempts to seize Void's remains but are driven back by residual symbiote energy. Last transmission. Unbeknownst to the heroes, a fragment of Void's core sends a signal deep into space. A massive alien eye briefly appears in the sky before vanishing. Knull is awakening. The symbiote god is no longer just myth. He is coming. Regroup and resolve. Anne is in recovery but distances herself from Eddie. Dan leaves Code Black, ashamed. Eddie buries part of Venom's goo, unsure if his partner is truly dead. In the final scene, Eddie begins hearing a faint whisper again. Venom might still be alive, barely. Post-credit stinger. In a dark lab, a brilliant, ominous scientist, implied to be the Maker, or an alternate universe Reed Richards, examines Void's symbiote core. Behind him, several stasis pods are labeled with names: Toxin, Scream, and Lasher. He smirks and says, "It's time to perfect the hive."